Against this right back, Charlie's definitely. Against this right back, Charlie's definitely.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on.
People deluded, I'm back.
There's always just that active red line defending. I think it's like. There's always just that active red line defending. I think it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on.
Am I live? Sorry about the delay there. You know, people deluded. I'm back again. Thank you very much for joining me for the aftermath of Deadline Day, people. I can't lie, it's not the Deadline Day that we wanted. It's another year, you know, big up my long-term supporters. It's another year that my hunt for a central midfielder, you know, goes on, really. Yes, I know Zinchenko and Fabio Vieira have been added to the squad, and amongst other positions, they can be groomed into playing that. But where an actual man that could play in the pivot is concerned, it didn't happen. So the transfer window ends on a sour note, even more highlighted with what we face in terms of injuries. There has been some positives, obviously the addition of Gabriel Jesus, and for me, Zinchenko, the many ways on the pitch, how they lead, how they play, how they interact with their teammates, experience, the fact that they're good players, also off the field. So I do think there's some good additions that have been added to the squad, specifically Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus. Obviously, we have got a backup keeper in Matt Turner. Hopefully, Marquinhos, where the wide area is concerned, you know, the most optimistic Arsenal fan would probably hope for Marquinhos to sort of position, because Saka, it's another day, it's another season. Saka's going to have to put in one hell of a shift, really and truly, on the right wing. I know you can do little bits and pieces with Eddie and Nketiah, with Jesus. You can chop and change some other players, but there's not directly a like-for-like replacement there. Obviously, we signed Matt Turner and things like that, you know, so there has been some positives. It does end on a rather sour sort of note, people. And just by looking at this here, again, big up you, keep your opinions, people. Apologies for that, people. I don't know what happened there with the mic. But yeah, we obviously failed pursuits of Rafinha, Douglas Luiz, Telemans pursuit. Whether we really tried for him or not is another case. But those were three very highlighted transfers that would have been welcome additions. Definitely Douglas Luiz on deadline day, whether he's going to play as an 8 or a 6 and things like that. But it wasn't meant to be. Hopefully the top of the names we said there. Every now and again, the rumors of Danilo fluctuate. Again, the last 48 hours, apparently we tried. So where January is concerned, we did hear Danilo might be available at a cheaper rate. If you've got an appreciating asset who got called into the Brazil team in a World Cup year, if he does go, doing well for Palmeiras, would he be cheaper in January off the back of what's being played in the previous month, the World Cup, provided he goes or just has a good domestic campaign? Us, as well as AC Milan and everyone else, are looking at him. You know, Chelsea played against him and they must have kept reports on him. So hopefully where Danilo, I would love Ruben Neves, but Douglas Luiz, Telemans in particular, those two in particular, because obviously their contracts are running down. January is stick or twist for Leicester and Aston Villa, respectively. Both players can indirectly agree moves to a Premier League team for the following season, and from January can officially have a pre-contract with a foreign team. So hopefully we go in for these names, or the scouting is in midfield. You don't quite kind of want a repeat of last January in terms of additions. We didn't get Arthur Melo or Vlahovic them times there. So yeah, hopefully the scouting's there. Hopefully we're reactive in the market to any opportunities and players that could potentially become available in January, whether because they've played good in the World Cup, whether their contract's running down, or people are showing out and obviously identifying themselves. In terms of our summer window, I think individually I'd give Gabriel Jesus an 11 out of 10 signing. Not even 11, 25 million. I'd give Zinchenko 10 out of 10 for us, really and truly. I think they're two very good additions for us. Matt Turner's a backup keeper. Hopefully he can just prove to be a steady pair of hands. Hopefully Fabio Vieira can be more underrated. Sorry for the technical difficulty. Seems my mic wants to go to as well, people. But big up you lot same way. So yeah, as I was saying, hopefully Fabio Vieira can show out. Hopefully Marquinhos can grow. But you look at obviously that's all long term and it ties in with our project. And I'm all for that. We need players. Jesus and Zinchenko, as you can see there, are both 25 years of age. So audio's moving mad. I know, apologies, man. But as I was saying, Zinchenko and Jesus got their best years in front of them. But in terms of immediately helping us in our quest, this is Zinchenko there really that you expect to significantly play a part in our season. You hope Fabio Vieira can jump into that realm. Marquinhos as well. Matt Turner's a backup keeper. Obviously, Ramsdale was holding his hamstring. So we hope there's nothing there. But yeah, man. Obviously, we did flush some players out. We have got Bellerin off the wage bill. Pepe and Marie's wages for at least a season are being supplemented. You hope Pepe can get a permanent move to Nice or elsewhere. You also obviously hope that Monza stay up, so Marie has to stay permanently over them sides. Obviously, Bellerin's gone. We've picked up loan fees as well, where some of the names and some of the young players, and obviously Ainsley Maitland-Niles has completed the move to Southampton. But we haven't really made a significant outgoing. Won't surprise me. Oh, well, apparently Bellerin, 1 minute it's a 3-year deal, then it's a 1-year deal at Barca, but it wouldn't surprise me if Barca make money on him. I think Edu and Arteta and the technical staff, whether the owners haven't given enough money, whether Arteta has or hasn't been naive, whether Edu's done or not done his job, everyone's got to take accountability, because we are short in midfield and we have to learn our lessons from last season, really. When everyone's fit and everything's going to plan, we can take on any team in this league. Unfortunately, 38 games, you have to expect players to be injured, and to a degree, what defines your season is how you are at your worst and things. And we saw last year with a number of fringe players that stepped up on occasion. They did quite well and played like everyone their own individual part to get us finishing 5th off the back of back-to-back 8 finishes. But we relied on squad players too long. Aston Villa definitely did us dirty. Maybe Arsenal were naive in the market, but allegedly we gave Martinez at a discounted rate. Allegedly, on top of that, we gave Callum Chambers away for free. And Aston Villa could have done us a solid here by giving us Douglas Luiz, but they didn't. I would say it does leave you bewildering, because 1 minute you hear there's money, then you don't. 1 minute we're prepared to spend the bag on Rafinha, then we're hearing we need Pepe to go before we can do what we're doing with Pedro Neto. 1 minute you're hearing we're not and the club are free to spend 18 to 20 million on Telemans, and then the next moment 36 lights. Keep running that up, people. Too steep, but then the next moment we find ourselves on deadline day kind of scrambling and things like that, to the point where we've bidded 3 times for Douglas Luiz. Similar sort of region to what we weren't prepared to pay for Telemans. So we've left ourselves kind of scrambling in that regards. And what started off kind of positive, and we almost assumed we got a centre mid, isn't there really. For me, it's a bit naive to rely on Xhaka and Partey. I do like Granit Xhaka in the team, but he's probably not of that level consistently. Really, the very fact that we rely on Granit Xhaka and some young players are also testament to them, but also testament to what we're doing. And obviously Thomas Partey, for all his ability, is irrelevant if you're not fit and can't stay fit. You heard the max amount of times he's played for Arsenal Football Club in a row is 8 or 9. For someone that's cost 45 million, I'm not berating the signing of Partey because it clearly he's a good player in that. But when you start looking at quality to money spent, there's not too many signings that have genuinely been valued for money. Hopefully those players that were signed last summer, which they are, and obviously this summer, can go in a step in the right direction. But we are very short in midfield, and I do think you're not going to see our attackers blossom to that next level or us improve as a team until we address the engine room. I do think Xhaka is a good player. He deserves his spot in the team. I think he's not as good as his Xhaka sexuals make out. I think a lot of people have scapegoated him, and I think on and off the field, there's a lot of praises to sing about Xhaka, really. But I feel that's a rotation player at best, respectfully. You've got that and his partner Partey. You don't know if he'll stay fit. You'll be shocked if Partey is available for 30 at least of the 38 Premier League games, which looks like a myth at this moment in time. So the midfield's an issue. Arteta's going to have to solve it internally, whether he changes the formation or the roles of players. He's going to have to, we've made our bed, so we've got to lie in it, really and truly. For those who say he's being short-handed and stuff, no one put a gun to his head to sign for this club, and he's clearly happy with being at this club because he signed a new deal. So you have to accept these regimes. You can't have your cake and eat it. You can't praise Mikel Arteta, Edu, etc. when things are going well and we're bringing in players, and then not hold and then pick and choose which people and personnel you want to hold it. Truly, but at the end of the day, we're just gonna have to get on with it. Really, now it is what it is. Get your opinion, keep your opinions coming. As I said, it's another year where there's no centre mid. Where that, for me, until we get that marquee centre mid, maybe in terms of name, I'm talking in terms of what we want to see it from the central of the midfield. I don't think we're gonna go to the next level, people. Again, we tried to get Douglas Luiz. We were reactive to Telemans. We did show intent with Rafinha, but trying and getting things done are two different things. Ironically, we're in sports. We're in a results business. If we try to win 38 games and don't necessarily win the vast majority of them games, we're not going to have the season. We need to actually win and get 3 points. We tried to beat City and we did quite well. We didn't get those 3 points last season which we dropped from a winning position, which could have played a part for top 4. I'm not criticizing us. It just is what it is. So I do like the pursuits of Rafinha, deadline day, Douglas Luiz. I did like what we're trying to do with Telemans and obviously Neto. But at the end of the day, these players are not in there really. And it would have been nice to have got some more game changers in, if I'm completely honest with you. So yeah, man, whether it's Luiz, Telemans, Danilo, you need to get things done in January. Slyly, you could say we failed to get Lissandro Martinez, whatever you want to say. I don't quite buy that, but playing devil's advocate. What I would say the club need to ask themselves is, truly, do they think the squad's good enough for top 4? Can they begin to work in terms of January? Whether everybody's fit, we needed probably a couple of midfielders. How extensive was our scouting? Because some would say, if we look at Danilo, obviously young player doing well, being called up by Brazil and them things, there has to be players of that similar profile. Lokonga's a similar profile, and that they're young sort of breakout players. So did we really exhaust our options? Did we really exhaust our agent-led options? Because George Mendes, we did him a favor with Fabio Vieira, allegedly. He could we have lent on them sort of people to see if centre mids could have been available? Could we have done what Liverpool did and got off Melo? Could we have exploited the low market? I don't necessarily believe we could. So as long as we can say we tried everything, then fair enough. But at the end of the day, we're in football, which is a results-driven business. And at the end of the day, we have a 23-man squad. I do think there's enough in there to fight for top 4 and do better than last season. But at the end of the day, I don't think there's that added push. And I think we're in trouble if there's a couple of injuries. As I said, Pepe and Ainsley needed to go, and there's several positives. But could you say, playing devil's advocate, in terms of bodies and being able to cope with injuries, it could have been worth keeping them at least until you brought players in, unless you had assurances that people are going to go in. So I do think there's elements of naivety. Still think we find ourselves probably over-relying on Bukayo Saka, and the most wishful of Arsenal fan would hope one young player, whether that be Marquinhos or Nelson, could say something. But I'm not really with that, if I'm honest. We're playing a dangerous game from now till January. There's Europa League. There's obviously games are coming thick and fast. We're dealing with injuries. I don't know how many players are or aren't going to go to the World Cup for Arsenal Football Club, but we don't know how the World Cup is going to impact many things, much less the transfer market, but on the field. So we're going to have to get on with it, innit? You know, as I said, as I always say, right now we're in September, just finished August. Happy new month to everyone. Hopefully there's peace and prosperity to all of you lot. But we're going to have to get onto it. But winter's coming, and it's a lot of footballs to be played. I know a lot has been drawn of almost every football club in the last 5 games they've all played and things like that. But it's a marathon, not a sprint. So let's see what happens. But I do think there were some good additions. I do think it started off well, but ultimately I think it's going to end on a mellow note, and we've kind of left ourselves short. But yeah, what you lot saying, people? That's my little think piece over. Big up you lot tuned in. Shout out Bosie FM for the raid as well. Shout out the Twitch gang. Appreciate you guys, just like you ones on YouTube, people. So yeah, Andrew, appreciate you for resubscribing with Amazon Prime as well, Killy. So yeah, man, it is what it is. What you lot say? Shout out to you lot joining me on the late shift. Strapping people, long season, letting Pepe and Maitland-Niles leave and not replacing them fraudulent settings. I'm heartbroken right now. I can't lie. A right winger and centre mid away from a title challenge. What happened to the 55 million we had already for Rafina, Frugal FC? I'm going to be positive about this. I think we might be able to get to January without suffering too much. I hope so, but I can only deal with what's in front of me. You know, I don't like to be wishful thinking. You know, if it's cold outside, I don't want to go outside and think, okay, I'm going to be positive. It's not going to be that cold. I'm going to be all right in the t-shirt. I want a jacket. So I share your opinion. I'm going to think positive. For me, it's not even thinking positive or not negative. It is what it is now. Whether we should have brought players in or not, clearly we should have. Maybe we have enough. There'll be plenty of other talking points, but we need to use what we have now. I don't want to talk about this now, if I'm honest with you. You have to get on with it. And if we're unable to do it, we sit there and we look at things, but this is the reality. So I hope we can get through January. You know, Arteta and Edu had to consider that worst case scenario, we didn't do what we needed to do in the market. For me, in terms of midfield, for them, whatever they wanted to do. I would say that, as I say that, I would say this, in that I don't think even clubs that may or may not have had better transfer markets than us, I don't think there's a club that would say, if you ask their gaffer, you know, they always want to do more, would they have brought in other players? I think if you ask City, as impossible as it is to improve that City team, and Julian Alvarez obviously was a January addition, he's doing his thing, Haaland, things like that. Calvin Phillips is it there for depth. They didn't get Cucurella, so maybe if you ask Pep, could he get a left back? He might do that. United have brought Casemiro and a couple things. Pretty sure they would want to do more. I'm pretty sure Spurs would. Clearly, Arsenal should. Liverpool probably, their fans, you know, mate. Even Klopp said he would have probably wanted to do a bit more, and so on and so forth. I think only Nottingham Forest, because they signed a crap load amount of players, really and truly. They're the only ones that can't sign anymore, man. How much, man, could you sign, really? So I'm trying to be positive, but for me, it's not positive or negative. It's the reality is we have left ourselves short if we suffer any more injuries. When everybody's fit, for me, we probably are. Our midfield isn't, central midfield isn't quite there, you know, really and truly. But we're going to have to get on with it. Like, this is the squad now until January, unless you're going to explore the free agent market. Can't imagine there's too many wavy dons there. And have to get on with it now. Pull our socks up, man up, and carry on. Obviously, woman up too. We're inclusive and that. Don't do me dirty. Man said Danny Drinkwater. Allow me, man. DG, man of the people. Let's share our frustrations. Thank DG for this therapy session. I needed it. Appreciate you lot for tuning in. No worries. We're going to be fine until January, in my opinion, bro. You show me legit reasons for why we're going to be in trouble or we're going to be fine, and I'll make my opinion accordingly. I'm not just going to despair and misery loves company and slate the club and carry on right now, because it's definitely too late for that at this moment in time, and that's not going to change anything. I'm not just going to, obviously you should think positively in life, but you also have to take active steps. You know, I hope all my bills get paid. You know, if I just say that, is that going to pay them, or do I need to go and earn a living and actually, you know, make sure I set up direct debits and those things? So I hope so, but, you know, just saying things for the sake of things aren't really going to help us. We need, you know, we need solutions, and we're going to have to solve it internally, really and truly. Probably have to change the dynamic slightly of our team. Hopefully Lokonga can step up. Hopefully Edu's on the phone to pattern things in January. You know, and it is what it is, because this has to have been something considered, really. And while everybody was fit 5 minutes ago when we were winning in pre-season and started off the season in good shape, you know, I'm not gonna say me or a lot of you wanted a midfielder, but you know, there was people weren't really moving mad, and maybe the club felt if everybody stays fit, it's calm, and if worse comes to worse and we can't get Telemans or anyone else in hindsight, we have enough in the squad to change things, really. Obviously, we haven't really got them dynamic players. You know, I do think Lokonga can be physically imposing. At the moment, he's very timid. Xhaka is only one man. So we probably have to switch up everything we play, how we play to a degree. Probably have to be that much better of a pressing team and probably have to commit to that bit more of Wenger ball, really, because I'd rather us, you know, play to our players' strengths. If these players can't do it to a certain level that previous personnel that are now injured could, you might as well double down and try and get a higher percentage of what they actually can do, really. So it is what it is, man. You know, I would say I'm happy I'm not Mikel Arteta, and if I wasn't Mikel Arteta, I'm definitely happy I'm not Edu, but they're paid a crap load of money. They're working in the privileged industry of football to find solutions. You know, we could have still got top four last season, regardless of the injuries and things like that as well. So, regardless, that we still need to be trying the thing. But yeah, man, let's just hope January we do a thing. And I do hope Marquinhos, Vieira, and Lokonga can step up. But at the same time, you know, they need, you know, I hope that. But when I look at my youth development hat on, they need the first thing you need is health. Reality, a healthy situation. Reality is Premier League football. There's never enough an ideal time to blood young players or for them, whatever. They're gonna have to hit the ground running. But it's unfair. I can't expect young Marquinhos, who I know really nothing about, to do a madness. I do expect a lot more from Lokonga, but I can't expect him to do Thomas Partey stuff. And Vieira's just signed for the club. So I do hope they can step up in things. You have seen Smith Rowe, Saka last season, Eddie and Nketiah do a thing. But again, it's just kind of saying positive nonsense for no reason, really. You know, it is right, but Obani, but it's just saying things, really. I hope so, but at the end of the day, you know, these players need to be given a healthy platform to grow. And can I expect them immediately to play major parts in helping us get top four like I could have if we got Telemans, Douglas Luiz, Neto, how I can with Jesus and Zinchenko and numerous existing players? You're always here, my guy, so you're smart enough to draw your conclusions there, man. One love for you lot joining. Let's be real, we don't have enough depth to get top four. If this injury concerns, then yeah, we don't. Let's just hope that at worst, it's a thing where when we hope everybody stays fit, but when some players come back, other players get injured. Hopefully, we don't see mass nonsense. These lot are betting on Xhaka and Partey again. Like you say, we've seen this movie before, but we're expecting a different ending. Barca getting a fee for Aubameyang, add insult to injury. Arsenal letting P. I mean, where you look at how we kind of gave a discount for Martinez and gave Chambers for free, or where you look at we kind of paid off Aubameyang to go Barca and have helped out Bellerin, you know, the clubs can't, you know, Arsenal, you're dealing with sharks and we're moving like tadpoles. We can't expect niceness from people just because we were nice to them, like in life. You would like them to, you know, to do us a favor, but boy, Arteta and Edu, I hope they're ready, because if not, their heads are on spikes. Could you imagine, you know, if we don't beat United or get a positive result, it's going to be a ish storm. Pepe's gone and not replacing him knocks points off a successful window. I hear that. Kroenke, Edu, Arteta, what did we seriously expect, says Slugs. People deluded. Back again. Shout Hodson Odoi is wavy. Appreciate you lot. Smash the like buttons. Think more blame should go on Edu. Arteta made it clear our squad was too small. Yeah, but at the same time, you know, again, the technical front is down to him, but at the same time, Arteta is hands on as well. It's not like Unai Emery where he's a head coach. You are the manager. Arguably, I think you're more valuable to the club than Edu. You know, we heard that Arteta is the major force behind Zinchenko and Ramsdale when Edu wanted other dons, really. You know, and if you knew that the squad was too small, potentially you, along with him, when planning the squad, could have made money stretch. At the same time, I agree with you. You know, in the same way, if we go and lose, if we play tomorrow and we lose, I'm looking at Arteta. I am looking at Edu where the technical front is concerned. But I also have to look at both of them and say, if worse came to worse, because, you know, we have been moving in a direction where we're kind of not just going as silly as it looked on deadline day now in a feeble pursuit of Douglas Luiz. We're not just signing players for the sake of it. We've shown our bottle, like last Jan. If we can't get the Vlahovic or Arthur Melo on favourable terms them times, we won't sign people. So, A, you lot had to have betted on that and have to find solutions and whatnot. Or, you know, B, you failed to do what you needed to do in the market, really, and had to have backup plans. So, it is what it is, man. You know, and as I said at the start, whether it's Edu, Arteta, Kroenke, we're a football club. Like on the pitch, we all, you know, if some players play poor and other players play better, it's not a thing where you 6 players and you 5 players win and lose. We win, lose, and draw together on and off the field. So, you know, we talk about collaboration and things like that. Everyone has to share the blame, really. I'm a football fan. I'm not going to see Arteta was pinging you names on WhatsApp to talk to this agent, that agent. Eddie was leaving him on do not disturb. I can't see any of that. So I agree with you. But end of the day, everybody's in this thing together now, you know. So he said, she said, boy. All I know is, the one thing I didn't want to sit here and say is we tried, did it? I was in Fabrizio's stream like a single baby mom praying for a good man to come save me. You're moving mad. P take that we ain't got a midfielder. Edu on some clown settings. Transfer deadline is a huge disaster. The squad are short of at least 6 players. Not quite crisis, lads. Zinchenko will have to do up pivot until Partey is back. No excuses. Let's hold it up. Again, we will remove and never replace. I'm scared, bro. It's crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. Keep your opinions coming, man. How long is Partey and Elneny out for? We don't officially know, but Arteta, himself said he's out. He's out for a while, and it looks like Elneny will be as well. So it is what it is. Like and subscribe. Big up Shakib in the cup. So it is what it is. We should have kept Torreira. He ain't even that bad. He didn't want to stay, bro. Like, he didn't want to stay. So I don't, any of the outgoings, you know, if I haven't made myself clear, Pepe, Ainsley, Torreira, Bellerin, all of these dons could go. It's just, we are a bit threadbare. Is Odegaard injured for the United game? We'll have to see in Arteta's press conference. Obviously, it looked like he had bruising. Hopefully the bruising's swelled down a bit now, you know, and he's been able to take it easy. But where him, White, and Ramsdale are concerned, and obviously Elneny and Partey, I don't actually know. I mean, Elneny and Partey, we can rule them out. The only one I'm really, really hopeful on is Zinchenko, really, because apparently he was close to being part of the Villa tick. But for obvious reasons, he wasn't. Better to be safe than sorry and all. So it is what it is, man. Have a great stream, mate. Need my bed, mate. Take care. Phil, we done good business. Roll on United. Amen. Did we need Vieira? Would rather have an 8. He's going to have to play there at some point, innit? Shout out, Cams. Even Arthur on loan would have helped. Thoughts on Saka? Bad boy footballer. Hopefully he signs a new deal. Solid window, but we could have done much, much more. But okay, we move. I think we're going to do bits in January. I mean, last January, we heard in the summer that to come, we're going to go and do things, you know. I remember the early reports in The Athletic where Rafinha's concerned, you know, they sounded quite bullish on several fronts with Arsenal, and that's kind of changed. So something's going on in it. But deadline day's gone. I waited and waited to go live. I thought I would have went live and Douglas Luiz might be here. It wasn't that. This is what happens when you scrape through victories versus teams you should be beating convincingly. 5 out of 5 is false hope. Seen this movie too many times. Edu fumbled the bag. Why did they move for Douglas Luiz so late in the window? If he moved earlier, we could have negotiated a deal. We lost out on 4th place due to lack of midfield cover, and we haven't learned anything. So naive from Edu and Arteta. No one's happy, mate. 4 out of 10 window. Not going to allow him disappointed. 4 out of 10 is a bit harsh. Pardon me. Basuma, Louise, Telemans, all under 30 million, and we didn't do one. It's crazy. I hope you're doing well, Kay. Partey and Zinchenko ain't injured. They've been safe for Sunday. All right, bro. I hope so. Shout American Gooner in the cut each and every time. I can't lie. Maybe I'm being harsh, but this window has been overrated. Only Jesus and Zinchenko really affect the team straight away. Outgoings, hell of them could come back with 1 year left. Difficult to move on. Telemans was waiting. Man said that Mike has given up like Arsenal scouted team. I hear it, man. Squad is not of top 4 caliber, DG. If it is, then the Premier League is a farmers league. I mean, City run away with the league every year, so probably. But what I would say, I don't care what the squad looks like on one hand, but man have to fight for top 4. I'm not prepared to throw in the towel. If anyone wants to throw in the towel, fans, technical staff, anyone employed to the club, bust out. There's no time for that. I don't care how impossible it is. Arsenal are going to get put in a spliff on Sunday. Hopefully not. They're going to gaslight us and make it out to be like there were no other options in the market. Chelsea got Zachariah on loan in the last day. That's a good comment. Today was another example of Kroenke penny pinching. Really? I personally think it was a case of incompetence, really. You know, we waited until the deadline. We accelerated a bit more with the injury front and maybe Douglas Luiz's performance against us and whatnot. But as somebody said, if we negotiated that earlier, we would have done a thing, you know. I think if you do that earlier, you could have got him for that sort of thing you bidded. You know, Villa are going to clearly let him go for something. They might get that 25 million, but they're clearly going to let him go for something less in Jan. It just put stress on the squad that we didn't need, create a problem that could have been avoided. That's also very true. And at the same time, when you've got less players in your squad, you have to utilize other players a bit more, really and truly. You know, again, is there even enough players to properly rotate against Zurich? I'm probably exaggerating a bit next week, really. Is there? There probably is, but just about by the skin of our teeth. But is there really? Just want to kick off by saying I'm not mad at Eddie or the board. I'm crazy mad at Villa. We gave them 2 first teamers for under 25 million. We offered that for Luiz on his last year of his contract. Edu and the board better remember this. To be fair, but it's nothing personal. It's just business. Nobody told them to do that. For whatever reason, Arsenal did that. I don't know whether it's to save resources or whatever. No one told them to do that, bro. You can't be mad at Villa. Don't hate the player, hate the game. We need to ask ourselves why we were naive in that regard. Why we keep doing that, tearing up contracts. And we find ourselves scrambling on deadline day. You can't blame Villa for that. This is business. This shit is ruthless. You know, if you're around lions and you're a little zebra and you're moving wounded, you know what's gonna happen. You're gonna turn into lunchtime. It's long. I can't be mad at Villa. The man they're nicknamed the villains. You knew this. Like, come on. Lokonga Lone 6 versus United, boy. Great start to the season, but is this squad able to sustain this level of play? Probably not. Everyone in the Premier League will plateau at some point, whether results reflect that or not. You know, it's impossible to sustain how we play, how anyone plays for 90 minutes, which is why game management is even more important. Let alone performing like this for 38 Premier League games is impossible. And we see this movie we watch the Premier League every year. You know, we watch this movie pan out. Don't know how the ending's different. I hope we can survive as well. A towel for the tears. It is what it is. We move forward, no looking back. Why didn't we have more options instead of Luiz? Foolishness. Does seem like that, man. Does seem like that. You know, the Chelsea example was good, man. Obviously, they're pouring money at things and the resources aren't the same. But, you know, they were linked with hella midfielders and they've made something happen. 95 likes, people up. The energy, what's going on here? So, man. What was the point in January? Honestly, I appreciate you trying, but that's not what I will praise them for. I didn't necessarily praise them. You know, I wanted players in and we let players go. Please, 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 specifically listen to what I say before, what I've actually said before you critique me. Thank you. Villa are pricks. We sold them Martinez at a good price and sold them Chambers and they couldn't do us. So they're all it's nothing. It's the Premier League, bro. They're light in midfield and got injuries themselves. Smaller squad than last year, and we have more games. Naive as fuck. Crazy. Just like Arsenal to do us like that, get us excited only to disappoint in the end. We tried, ain't good enough. Boy, I just want to express my embarrassment at having an opening bid of 20 million and feeling a third bid with a raise of 5 will be enough. Extremely naive and very ambitious. I mean, you probably would have had to have overpaid for Douglas Luiz, but I think 25 million for what it's worth is a fair offer. But again, you needed plan Bs and other plans to go with that. Maybe you needed to start laying the groundwork. You know, the player was keen to arrive, but we keep hearing that. We heard personal terms on an issue for Telemans, Neto, Rafinha per se, who was always going to go Chelsea if he didn't go Barcelona and anyone else, but getting negotiations. Selling and negotiations clearly are things that remain to be seen with Edu, even though there were some positives so far from this campaign, this transfer window. Sorry, we've got ourselves in a fantastic position. The hyenas are coming, and our squad ain't good enough to fight them off. Feel like the club need to analyze why Arsenal constantly have injury issues. Players with decent injury records come in and get injured every year. We got Uncle Partey only plays 58% of the season. Screwing, bro. That meaty Brummy team thinking their levels like us. I hear that. I'd give a couple of players higher ratings, but I would call it. I wanted to give it a 7, but I'd give it a 6. I feel we could have. I feel there's not really been a marquee outgoing. I feel for me, as you lot that follow me on YouTube, I've wanted a midfielder for time. I don't have that midfielder, but I am happy with Zinchenko's addition, and I'm ecstatic over Gabriel Jesus. Apart from that, you know, I am intrigued to see what Fabio Vieira brings to the table as well. Hopefully, Marquinhos can develop where he can be an option for Arsenal's first team, or that 3 million can turn into 30. Matt Turner, I have my doubts and concerns, but I'm prepared to give him a chance and be proven wrong. And I hope that Ramsdale for the Prem is always fit. Smith Rowe, sorry, why is it not coming up? Smith Rowe and Vieira yet to feature. Bit harsh, Smith Rowe has. Vieira yet to feature. Saka yet to bang. Thomas will be back sooner than we think. I'm guessing. Again, I don't like guesswork, bro. Players wanted obviously weren't available for the right price. Heads up, take a breath, and we move. I hear that part, you know. Good players are never going to be available for what you want to pay, really and truly, you know. If I'm completely honest with you, you know, I'm not saying splash silly money for no reason, and the contexts are different. But do you honestly think? And I know he's not the best of example, but do you honestly think if they could, you know, Liverpool wanted to pay X amount of money for Darwin Núñez, or wanted to pay how much they paid for Alisson or Van Dijk? If you want the player, you pay the money, and good players are not going to be easy to come by. You can obviously find players that can grow, outsmart the market on occasion, but boy. And it does seem to be Arsenal are the only ones players are not available. Make them available. Offers that I'm not advocating spending for silly reason, but when there's a player that there's 100% confidence in, pay the money or have backup plans. You know, Chelsea have money to pour at it, but they've been linked with a whole host of midfielders. They managed to get one in, whether he bangs or not. So I do like the fact we tried. I do like the fact we kind of stuck to our guns on occasion. But at the end of the day, you know, all that matters is, like you said, we move, we try and find internal solutions. We hope and pray to every religion you guys, you know, are part of, that we see no more injuries and people are back sooner rather than later. For me, I'm a bit unpopular with injuries. I'd rather them come back when they need to come back. And obviously, I'm no medical man if people are past fit. But I keep seeing the stories with, you know, Partey, Tierney, Tomiyasu, where we've kind of learned and taken our time with him now, which he might need to be blooded now. Ben White gets moved into midfield because that's another option. Don't rush people back because we'll only win a battle. If you rush them back and they play one game, you know, like El Nene, which is a completely different example, but let's just say El Nene had a long-term injury, comes back against Fulham, he helps us win the game, but obviously he's out. I'd rather us win the war and players are back able to be fit. I'd rather us find whatever it is. You know, I'm no medical man, but, you know, again, Arteta keeps saying it's a recurring injury from Partey. Is it a thing where he takes surgery now? Again, I'm no medical man. I don't know if it's that thing. I don't know if surgery can actually do anything. But is it a thing where whatever we're doing is not working and he needs to go through major or minor operation? Obviously, there's a time scale there. And much like Granit Xhaka, who for different reasons you want to see that upgraded on, they're both 29. You know, they're still young enough to play substantial years, but where is the succession planning in midfield? You know, you clearly Telemans is of that ilk. Maybe Douglas Luiz, potentially Lokonga and anyone else we've been linked with. But at the end of the day, boy, I don't know. If anything happens to Granit Xhaka for a variety of reasons, leadership, fitness with other players, you're in even more problems. And it could be over before it started. But that's just me dealing with what it is. Hopefully, you know, it's not a that thing. But crucially, as you said, we move, man. It is what it is. Unless there's a mad free agent out there, we have to move. Lokonga looks sharp against Fulham. Let's hope he doesn't lose his confidence. Dimi Villa. I'm being 100% honest. We have to be below 35% to lose to United. They can barely string 10 passes. That is not in their defensive third. Listen, let's just deal with United when the time's right, man. For now, easy. Arsenal need to sack Edu, says Mary. She's not happy at all. To rely on Partey, he's always injured, is insane. Crazy. Telemann smells of Awawa 2.0. We haven't got Champions League, bro. And he says, you lot can't handle it, can you? Your season will come crashing down. I've got popcorn out ready. I mean, it sounds like you live an exciting life, my guy, to be trolling at 1:13 a.m. UK time. Shout out you on the gigahertz, man. Arsenal makes me want to smoke that loud again. Nah, man, you're overcompensating. You want to smoke that anyways. You're just looking for a reason. Stay strong, brother. DG up at Brazy Times. Respect DG always here for the fans. Appreciate that. Our squad is short. That's why Arteta takes time to substitute the first 11. I don't know about that. Until shown different, they're good enough for top 4. I don't know if they are or not. I just know we need to take every game as it comes, bloody win the games and get there. All the gas from the first 5 games have been sucked out tonight, and it shouldn't. You shouldn't be too excited that we've won 5 games. You know, you shouldn't be down. You know, you should just level-headedness. You know, we have won 5 games. That's a good platform, but we've achieved nothing. There are concerns with injuries, but the season's not over yet. You know, we'll deal with obviously injuries like last year. If that plays a part, then we have to go through it. But balance, man, key to life. I feel like Arteta would rather start Fabio Vieira over Smith Rowe as a 10 because Smith Rowe cannot really control the game, but who knows if Fabio can. DJ, I'm beyond angry. This summer was made out as if we had lots of money to spend, yet really we had no more than 100 million, pitiful compared to the competition we face. They needed someone like Luiz, left it to the last minute. You have to overpay. Owners don't want to do that. They never have done, hence the big decline from the early 2000s. But hey, that's where we're at. Overrated business last 2 years. Club have backed him to can't pattern the whole. Well, it's not letting me. Your comment come up. Obviously, you can't pattern the whole team in one window. Hopefully, there's a plan in the jam window. Can't help but think this is going to cost us, but hopefully not. Can we not explore Europe for a midfielder? Boy, never mind. Bare patch-up job's going to flow now if Lokonga gets injured. It's crazy, boy. It's good. Back three. One injury away from back three for me. Today also shows what a lying yes man Arteta is. Bit harsh. Disappointed, not surprised. Man, I'm mad at Villa. If we made life easier for them, they aren't entitled to return the favour. We simped out and didn't pam at the end of the night. True. Man said Eddie Vinay and garlic bread are all what list. You lot are not happy at all, man. You lot are not happy at all. I really wanted Zaha to fill attacking options if injuries occurred. Would have been cheaper as well. Boy, it's going to have to deal with it. DJ, if Xhaka gets injured, we are screwed. Do we have any academy players available because they're all on loan like Aziz? Do you rate Sambi? I do rate Sambi. And as for people available in the academy, I don't think there's anyone ready to step up right now. But who is ever ready? You hope people could prove you wrong and surprise, man. But I can't say there's anyone I'm looking at. I'm like, bloody hell, yeah, man. Both Leicester and United were awful today. I see the squad getting burnt out with the lack of signings, especially Martinelli. He has been playing full 90 minutes since pre-season. Remember the name last season, Bambi Lokonga. Has he really got better, bro? Honestly, he's only played one game. Bit harsh on Sambi. I can't say he's improved because he's only played one game, but crazy. PSG signing all the midfielders DG recommended, Fabio Ruiz and Soler. Surely he could pattern the job at PSG. Why not, man? I think I'd have to learn French though, man. Stop saying injuries, guys. You're gonna curse us. That's not how it works, man. Think positive. I do think positive. You know, I don't think positive or negative. I use what's in front of me, and there's many of reasons to be positive, but there are variables where you don't necessarily have to be negative, but you have to consider them. You know, there's no point running away from problems in life and just shifting it to the back of your mind because evidently, when they're there, there's issues. Paterno's gone Blackpool on loan. He's currently injured at the moment. As they all, you know, him, Flores, all them young boys should have run out on loan. I know there's bare injuries, but at best, in the best case scenario, all you're going to do is travel up and down the country. I'm good, my guy. I appreciate the fact you're here, Eric. I'm not trying to be overly critical, but why does Arsenal keep making the same mistake in the transfer market? Where is our centre mid? I wish I knew. DG, big up yourself doing the Lord's work. Do you see Zinchenko back for United? Sorry if you touched on it. I hope so, but honestly, I don't know. I don't have a clue. I don't know why we always leave ourselves short either. I wouldn't say I'm looking for a reason to be miserable, and you can enjoy the football, you know, but, you know, you have to be honest. I know misery loves company, and when people want to be angry, they can find other people. I also feel you shouldn't just be positive for the sake of it. We should deal with it's quite binary, really. Everything's in front of us. I know football's an emotional sport, but just put our emotions to the side and look at what's in front of us. And I feel everybody is saying sensible comments in the chat. It's not looking for misery, but any more injuries, and we're no better than last season. Exactly. And then you're relying, and again, I don't think it's fair to rely on certain players. So hopefully it doesn't get to that. But I wish I don't have any answers for you lot saying why do we leave ourselves short, etc., etc. All I can do is say thank you to you lot for tuning in. Remember when all we had was a good midfield but horrendous front and back. It's crazy how things change, man. RIP deadline day. Let's focus on the United game. Good point. Now the window's shut. Do you see any under 23s or 18s breaking through? Hope so, but I can't say I see anyone there at the moment. My only concern, because I'm just aware of how ill prepared we are for the worst case scenario. We've been positive for years, but everyone can see we didn't plug the gaps. We had plenty of time to do so. We left ourselves short with zero margin for error, but we have to get behind the players we have. Nathan. Tomiyasu's passing is underrated. Rarely see him miss one and always weighs them properly. I think you mean an important part of the pitch. DG, when a club ain't ruthless from the top, it seeps down into the dressing room. Very true. Air of comfortability. And, I do think there were some positives in this transfer market, but I just feel Edu and Arteta, they'll have what ifs, and Kroenke as well, and anyone else in charge of transfers or the technical front. But we're going to have to get on with it. This was the bulk of the team, rightly or wrongly, that were fighting for top four last season. And for rightly or wrongly, whether it's game management, players being fit, not having certain players in the team, needing to do things in the market or not, they still could have got fifths, could have got top four, sorry. So let's just hope that's the case. But ultimately, if you do the same things again and again and expect different results, that's literally the definition of insanity. So all we have to do is see in it, really, man. But I have to get on with it and make do. The worst part is we've made such a good start, such a good foundation to attack top four. And tonight we just said, no worries, guys. We will wait for you. Chelsea and United totally caught us tonight. My mood went from over optimistic to depressed, and this is why I said level heads. Mudryk is a good fit for the team. Hope come January he'll still be in the good books. It is what it is, man. Keep the pressure on the Kroenke. Pardon me. They say they want to win titles, but how serious are they really? Actions, words. United even had a better window than us, but top four is still achievable. This is why I can't trust the Kroenkes. Every window, however good, we always leave holes. Let's just hope for no more injuries, both in midfield and the wing. Especially Saka will be a problem. Crazy, man. Feels like Jan last year all over again. We'll keep hoping for the best. Amen. I can't lie, we're overreacting. Too many volatile fans. The squad is so short. I can see games being cancelled like they did versus Spurs last season. I don't think we'll have time for that. Will there ever be accountability this season? After no signings in Jan, everyone said we'll see. Didn't make top four. Then everyone said forget about it. We're in a new season. Make it make sense. Crazy. Wish I had the answers, man. I don't, though, people. I don't, man. I really do. Really do wish I did, but it is what it is. Don't forget, 11 p.m., half an hour earlier tomorrow, I'm going to be with Curtis Shaw on YouTube and Twitch. I will do a separate Arsenal stream, more interactive for you lot after, and we will be playing Football Manager at 4:30. Yeah, and then obviously on Sunday, we'll be doing a watch-along for Man United. So the grind don't stop, people. It don't stop. It never can, man. Appreciative to all you lot tuned in on this late shift, people. So, yeah, man. It's a bit of a demi-downer, really, where the transfer market is concerned. If I'm completely honest with you, it is what it is. Let me make a timestamp and let's go through some of these articles, really, where I wish we was all talking about, the Brazilian links we could be getting with obviously the addition of Douglas Luiz, sorry. Still haunted by the ghost of David Luiz and all the others, but yeah. I mean, while it's frustrating, I'm not really vexed about not signing Douglas Luiz. I would have taken him. I would have loved for him to sign for the club. I think he's a good player. I'd say the one that got away from me would have been Rafinha. As I said, it was always dream chasing. His second choice was Chelsea after Barcelona, but that would have been one for me. I would have loved Pedro Neto. Would have been happy with Telemans clearly, but I'd say for me, Rafinha was the one, man. I think it could have been very wavy if I'm honest with you, but that's circa sometime, man. I'm gonna have to just get on with it. Can't win major honors on just luck alone. Amen. I'm questioning the 32 dropped on Fabio Vieira. Hope he comes good. I'm not, because I think he'll be a good player, but I'm just questioning why there wasn't a pure centre mid. Keep your thoughts coming in, people. As you lot can see there, Aubameyang has signed for Barcelona. He's underwent his medical. He signed for them. Probably going to be poetic justice seeing him score against us, people. Hopefully that's not a thing. But yeah, Ainsley Maitland-Niles joined Southampton on an initial loan, people. Household who has said there's an option to buy people, and he's also said on Ainsley is a good good point in his career with a lot of experience already, but he's also still a young player with potential, and he is someone who can definitely help us. I think he fits in well with us and can develop his game even further during his time here. He can also play in different positions, which is always a good thing, and I'm pleased to welcome him as part of our squad. He has 12 months remaining on his deal, but we have heard we've taken out the option to extend that, people. So, yeah, hopefully he can build on the experience. He can cement a team in a place in their team. They can buy him permanently. He can show his versatility and all of these sort of things. But yeah, man, we had 3 bids rejected today for Douglas Luiz. Aston Villa reject 3rd bid from Arsenal for Douglas Luiz. So while it was great we did that, we left it too late. Arsenal's chase for midfielder Douglas Luiz appears to be over after Aston Villa rejected a 25 million offer. The Athletic understands. Their latest offer was Arsenal's 3rd bid of transfer deadline day. Arteta is keen on bringing in a midfielder following injuries to Thomas Partey and Mohamed El Nene. It's understood Luiz, who remains in Birmingham, and you saw Arsenal fans trying to chase troll and find vans and things, and it came out they were trolled by Villa fans. Apparently he was on the M-way en route to Arsenal. This is why I told you lot, just watch when players hold these shirts. It's understood Luiz, who remains in Birmingham rather London, took part in a recovery session with Aston Villa this morning. Obviously, earlier today, we made a 2nd bid. Obviously, with that being said, earlier today, we made a 1st bid, people. Gerrard seemed like there was going to be, he was kind of resigned to losing him. Aston Villa have issues in midfield of their own, and they've brought in a midfielder as well as kept hold of this one. So we'll have to see how that develops. But this is someone that had interest from Roma, Atletico Madrid, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Arsenal. Apparently, Liverpool tried to get involved. So yeah, it's another case of like Rafinha and Pedro Neto and Douglas Luiz agree in personal terms, but there's more than that needed to just get things done. So yeah, it is what it is in that regards, people. How much did Arsenal spend in the summer transfer window? Obviously, we bid 55 for Rafinha, 25 for Douglas Luiz, a decent amount for Lisandro Martinez, but these moves and allegedly tried to make headwinds on Pedro Neto, but none of these things happen. So yeah, good additions. I mean, we're shameless, man. I'm trying to include Saliba as a new signing. Word to Wenger like a new signing. That's a loan thing, brethren. We spent 120 million. I do think the squad's improved, but I do think we're short. And yeah, obviously we've picked up loan fees for several players. Balogun going out on loan gets a loan fee, like Pablo Mari, like Runnison, like Norton Coffey, like Pepe, like Tavares, who like Balogun's doing quite well on loan, like Patino. So yeah, we picked up some loan fees. Some of them, with the excluding the young players, where the more first teamers are concerned, we've foregoed some of their wages. Pardon me, which is decent. We've obviously got where Lacazette's wages are off the books, Leno's, Bellerin's. We've got certain resources that can be deployed towards giving that to players that we see as being part of our squad. For instance, Saliba, Martinelli, and Saka. Rumours of signing a new deal, but I do think we've definitely upgraded the squad with Zinchenko and Jesus, but I wouldn't quite say we're significantly upgraded. I don't think we've brought in that trailblazing centre mid really that takes us up several levels. So it is what it is. 120 million spent. Again, money's been spent. Arteta already, money's been spent again like last window. We've made our bed. We've got to lie in it, and hopefully it's a positive end to the season. But we've only played 5 games. Our 6th game is in a couple of days against Man United. We're going to have to just see how it goes, people. If we come out of Safari for a second and dip back over to Google Chrome, as we already know, as I've said, Southampton have confirmed the signing of Ainsley Maitland-Niles, people. So on loan. So yeah, see what he brings to the table. I think he fits in well with us and can develop his game even further during his time here. He can also play in different positions, which is always a good thing. And I'm really pleased to welcome him as part of the squad. So we'll be cheering on Ainsley. Bellerin returns home to Barcelona. Obviously, Bellerin via La Masia, basically our academy prospect. He arrived as a 16-year-old boy, leaves as a 27, 28-year-old man. Apparently, he signed on a 1-year loan deal, people. So it wouldn't surprise me if, he either signs a new deal and it goes for a small fee to Betis, because apparently Barca trying to get Fekir, so there's dodgy dealings there, really. Or he stays there for a year and then he gets his dream move back to Betis, but it could be a lot worse. He's ended up at Barca. His agent's been speaking. I can't find his comments, but his agent's been speaking, and he said Bellerin's made a great financial sacrifice, really, to get his contract tore up with Arsenal. and make the move to Barca. He could have kept Bellerin, but he's earning 100 grand a week, and he's our third choice right back. He's played no part of the season. He's behind Cedric, who was on the bench and isn't good enough. Them two are behind Ben White, who can play right back and has played right back significantly at other clubs and a couple of times here. But if we look at it, Ben White was brought as a centre back. A centre back is ahead of them. Tomiyasu is ahead of them as well. And Saliba can play there. I wouldn't play him there, but can play there as well. I said he's there for free. But as it said here, he's terminated his contract with Arsenal and he's joined them. Obviously, that's helped them out a bit. So, yeah, man, he's made in La Masia. He's went and done his thing and he actually returns as a Spanish international. So, best of luck over them sides, Bellerin. On Bellerin, Mikel Arteta said we today say goodbye to Hector and we thank him so much for his loyalty and commitment to Arsenal Football Club. During his 11 years with Arsenal, Hector won 3 FA Cups and made nearly 250 appearances. You know, fly your wings as high as they can, Bellerin, man. Plant as many trees as you want, my guy. I wish you win every title available at Barca. Such a huge contribution to the club. I'm privileged to have played in the same squad as Hector for 3 seasons, wearing the Arsenal shirt and sharing many great memories on and off the pitch together. We thank you, Hector, and we wish you and your family all the best for your return to Barca. Yeah, man. Just a shame we couldn't sell him like with Ainsley Maitland-Niles. You know, I wish we could have sold them when their names actually had a bit of clout behind them, really. So it is what it is in that regards, people. And yeah, 239 appearances, 9 goals, 29 assists, 3 FA Cups and 3 Community Shields. Fullback union, fly high Hector Bellerin, man. The best goal I think I've seen you score for me would be that one against Liverpool at the Emirates when I think you, Alexis, Ozil, we were just moving mad as a team. It's a shame Bellerin didn't fulfill his potential, but it is what it is in this life, man. So yeah, you've gone. Ainsley's joined Southampton on a season-long loan. People, again, we wish him all the best in his and on all of their endeavors. Tim Akinola of our youth academy has joined Chesterfield on loan. Our 21-year-old has signed for Chesterfield. It's probably unlikely he makes the grade. You know, pretty telling that he's a similar profile in terms of being a tenacious midfielder to players that are injured, but that tells you he's nowhere near the first team. And you know, Matt Smith might even get opportunities in the first team, and I hope he can and take opportunities. But if I was him, I'd have probably sought pastures new, because in the best case scenario where Arsenal players rush back or we don't feel an even more knock-on effect with injuries, minutes might be limited. Miguel Aziz has headed out on loan and joined the UDIB for. He joins Marcelo Flores in going to Spain. That's it. This is his second loan after going to Portsmouth, people. So I hope he can do well there. Obviously, he is an England youth international, but is of Spanish heritage, so he probably knows the language in that. I do think his game is suited either more to Holland or Spain, you know, so he does have to come back and play in England if he is to have a future here, but wish him all the best, man, like with all of them. And like I said, these lot should be going and playing proper men's football. You know, they're not going to care that you're Miguel Aziz academy prospect. They're going to hear Arsenal midfielder, England international, Spanish heritage. You know, long hair, well, not anymore, you know, but you're going to have to do that. So go and do your thing, man. Link up with Yunus Musa. How far is I leave from Valencia? I don't know, your brethren. So link up with him on your off time. But yeah, hopefully our 19-year-old can do well out there, really. And James Olayinka has joined Cheltenham Town on a permanent loan, people. Again, 21 years of age. Hasn't got a snowball's chance of making it at first team level for Arsenal Football Club. So especially keep it moving. Smash the like button, people. So yeah, it is what it is in that regards. Once again, Douglas Luiz move didn't bang. Arsenal appeared to give up on bid to sign Aston Villa midfielder Douglas Luiz. The Athletic said we did. So I'm trying to, you know, scroll through, but this was saying we felt there wasn't enough time for a medical. We had a £20 million bid rejected this morning. We had a £23 million bid then rejected, and then apparently there was a slightly more improved offer. Apparently Atletico had offered 20 million for Luiz, and apparently they wanted closer to 30 million when Atletico did, people. So yeah, it is what it is. So they've kept hold of their man and got Dendonka. It is what it is. We're in issues. Arteta said on Wednesday, obviously it has an impact because Thomas Partey is injured. We are a bit short in that position. We have Sambi Lokonga and Xhaka who can play there, but we're looking at options in the market. The club has been super supportive to keep improving the squad and the team as we can. If the right player is available and we can do it, we will try. So yeah, it is what it is. Arsenal have also showed an interest in Palmeiras midfielder Danilo, who is impressing in Brazil, but sources on both sides of that potential deal have insisted he will not be moving to England in this transfer market window. Sorry, a January move is currently regarded as more likely. So hopefully we could do a thing there, if I'm honest with you. So in fact, it doesn't really matter if there's any other additional transfer news, does it, people? Because unless you're agreeing things and telling us from now till Jan, it's a bit irrelevant. So started well, ends on a sour note. Good moves were done, but a lot to be desired. So yeah, it is what it is. I can't imagine there's any other meaningful Arsenal transfer news or anything to say, people, really. There can't be, you know, like the transfer market's done now. We'll have to put up with it. You know, hopefully Saka can sign a new deal and we can beat United, and there could be something for Arsenal fans to be positive about, because it doesn't appear that this is the thing, people, really and truly. What else is being said? Might as well see some of these articles, man. Edu inadvertently has admitted Arsenal's summer transfer failure amid Douglas Luiz rejection. The budget point in hiring 1 or 2 players in January. The squad was not prepared to absorb 2 players. We needed to rebalance the squad. Maybe next season we can go to 1 or 2 players, and technically he did do that with Jesus and Zinchenko. Today we find a much better. Sorry, he said. Yeah, so he said today we find a much balanced squad. Our planning has already been done, and it has already reached our owners. It's a matter of step by step how we are going to finish the season and put into plans the planning that I'm very excited about. How? The Champions League and Europa League both require a much larger squad because the number of games is much bigger. Do we have that? If we can afford it financially and we don't have to do the turnaround in the squad that we had to, what I want is 22 outfield players and 3 goalkeepers. A lot of things have been put into place, and that takes so much time. I'm also expecting a busy summer, which it was, and ain't we got a squad of 23? So we're gonna have to see how that develops, people. Arsenal, pardon me, explored move for 86 million forward at the Emirates. And what happened to Yeremy Pino? Obviously, left that one there late in the day. It seemed like Emery was open to letting him go. Mudryk, obviously, Romano has indicated that Arsenal did indeed explore a move for the Ukrainian flyer. We were actually linked with Noah Lang today, which thank God it didn't happen. And that contact had even been made with the players' reps. I think this is the problem there's going to be. He is super expensive. Arsenal explored this possibility and they had contact with his agent last week. Let's see if they decide to try for him. But it's not easy. It's absolutely not easy. All right. So I don't really know what that is, but it is what it is. So just going to have to get on with it, aren't we, people? We're just going to have to get on with it. What was I going to do? See what the social, the Twitter people are saying. Not that there's anything that they could be saying, folks, but let's see exactly what's being said. What's the other one I was gonna do? We can still get top 4. It's just gonna be harder than it had to be. But hey, it's crazy, man. So yeah, man. That move is done. Apparently, Edu spoke with Luiz yesterday after the game. Villa upset with that reason for hardballing, but surely they're cutting off their nose to spite their face in that regards. It doesn't make sense to do that. 11 a.m. UK time. Curtis Shaw will be on my channel. Big up Curtis. Make sure I can't imagine none of you are, but make sure you're following him on his socials, much less his YouTube channel. He said, Telemans to only for Arsenal to not agree a fee with Leicester. A lot of hard work trying to get as much information as possible, building relationships, a real kick in the teeth. Arsenal will try again in January and then again when free agent. So hopefully, but it's irrelevant. Douglas Luiz is willing to force for a move to Arsenal, according to someone close to the deal. So maybe Arsenal didn't negotiate well enough. Maybe he didn't force his hand. That's the Villa one, that game of a game of chess, really, didn't they? So it's a bit irrelevant, really. So yeah, the Douglas Luiz deal is dead. Apparently, Douglas Luiz agent is trying to make the move to Arsenal happen until the end. So he tried, but it's a myth, man. Kai Jarupkin, who obviously has worked with Arsenal before, and isn't he technically Edu's agent or was? So let's hope so. Apparently, Liverpool failed in an attempt to get him as well. So yeah. Apparently, Arsenal have a sell-on percentage clause if Barcelona sell Bellerin in the future. That's decent. But how did he terminate his contract and negotiate that? Is that a thing in terms of good faith? I don't know, man. So yeah, man, there's nothing really to say other than Douglas Luiz move didn't bang. So yeah, man, that's where that is, isn't it? Like that's, I don't want to say last transfer stream because you never know, football's ever present, but that's the end of the transfer window where we're concerned. So you think we'll get both in January next year? I don't know anything, man. One or the two. 25% clause on Bellerin. A watch along for City's documentary could be something. We need to start using loans sometimes. No, Douglas Luiz could cost us severely. We all know we're doing nothing in January. I would sell Partey in the summer. He's always injured and he ain't reliable. I mean, unless someone's going to give us 30 of that 45 million or our 45 million, I don't know. What do you mean? Was he going to learn in Spain? It's too late for me. Yeah, Bellerin when he wore the Vapors was lit. I would want Maitland-Niles to sign permanently for Southampton. He deserves to play games and he can't get that here, unfortunately. Bellerin did win more than Harry Kane. Kind of sad seeing ballers didn't realize their potential. Sorry, kind of sad Bellas didn't realize his potential with us. Seemed like an amazing player when he started out. Trust, but he just regressed. Man just said, I'm glad he's gone. Crazy. You lot killed me. Big up you lot. 140 likes. Can we get closer to 200, folks? Is it true that the squad is actually smaller than the same time last year? It must be. We started this window very well, doing business early. Thought we'd learn our lessons. I was wrong. We almost assumed the midfielder was coming in. Sorry, don't mean to rant, but we knew we need Partey cover last season and the season before that. This is gross negligence. Aston Villa are fighting relegation. They would only give Douglas Luiz for 35 plus. Reports said Arsenal only willing to give 27. We also need to remember when clubs are it's getting late. We also need to remember when clubs like moving stingy with us and we're always trying to make everything good for all parties. It's crazy. Villa had no reason not to sell. They just wanted to hinder Arsenal because they were sour. I mean, on one hand, where Leicester and Aston Villa are concerned, they probably shot themselves in the foot because they might get more money in Jan or the money they wanted, but they might get a similar offer. But at the same time, a bit like us with Van Ramsey, both clubs might say for whatever they're doing, I would say more. Well, Villa are having a poor season, but Leicester are terrible at the moment. You know, they might deem that it might be worth, keeping them for a season and letting them just go for free if they help them if they help them do what they need to do. Paqueta went to West Ham. To be fair, Edu kind of quashed that one already. January transfer window gave us a reason to be vexed, but this summer one has not been a complete waste of time. Just not everything we wanted. I hear that, Mags. The minute Arteta started saying it has to be the right player, I knew our business was done. Signing Luiz would have made it a successful season, but without it's kind of average. Jesus, it was lit, man. Let's get up. Let's get the likes up. Those should be over 200. Shout out the YouTube members. Appreciative for you lot. Same DG. Well, who knows? Sambi, Fabio, Marquinhos might turn up. I don't like Mites, though. I hope so, though. Arsenal have taken a gamble but could improve the squad decks next year with Telemans, Luiz, and even Aouar all for free next year and could sell Xhaka, Ainsley, Pepe, Marie, holding for a small profit. Wishful. Odegaard won't be playing in the World Cup. That's good for us. Leicester and Villa are going to get their handbags out and battle relegation. I know it's hella late. Your time, DG. Really respect your hustle. Appreciate that. Shout out Techers Dave. I'm scared that our squad will be tired or banged up after the World Cup. We have important players for the national team who will play every match, for example, Jesus or Saka. I mean, who's really going to go to the World Cup from this Arsenal team? Is Ukraine in the World Cup? Because that means, I don't even know, because that could be Zinchenko. You hope Ben White, Ramsdale, Saka go. on current form, if it's being picked tomorrow, Smith Rowe's not going. You're taking Harvey Elliott out of all the young players. Smith Rowe could, but I don't think it's an assurance. I think Martinelli, there's a lot of competition. He started well. I'm hopeful on Martinelli more than Smith Rowe playing at the World Cup, but I hope they could all go. So there could be, if Ukraine are in the World Cup, forgive me if I'm wrong, potentially Zinchenko, Granit Xhaka for Switzerland, obviously Jesus for Brazil, hopefully Martinelli for Brazil, hopefully Gabriel for Brazil, the centre-back, hopefully, Saliba for France. Is Japan in the World Cup? Again, could be Tomiyasu. I don't think Cedric's going with Portugal, but you'd want him to, who else? America's there, Matt Turner. Trying to actually think. Unless Eddie bangs 15, 20 league goals, he's not going with England. I mean, has Fabio Vieira been capped by Portugal? I swear he's been doing it on the 21. So unless he gets significant game time, that's a myth as well. Probably missed out a couple players, but yeah, you're right. You're fully right. Oh, sorry, Ukraine are not there. Yeah, the Welsh are there, innit? You think we'll make multiple signings in Jan? I don't know, man. So yeah, Xhaka and Tomiyasu will be going. Martinelli, Jesus, Xhaka, Tomiyasu, Saliba, White, Saka, Ramsdale, Partey could be as well. Cedric, I don't know, man. I don't know for that. I don't think Cedric's going, bro. At the end of the day, as Arsenal fans, I beg, don't give up the faith for this team because we are public enemy number one for the non-believing critics. I hear you, but I don't really care about that, man. I only care about my football club. How does Barca manage to sign Conde? You'd have to ask them. Xhaka is actually good. I don't mind him retiring here, but shouldn't be a starter next season. Injuries is our problem. Listen, let's not let this get us down for too long. The team has a big match on Sunday. Business as usual. 6 from 6. Let's go. I hear that, Jamrock, man. I hear that. Don't forget, big up the Nightbot as well. Subscribe with Amazon Prime for free to support the guy if you're over there on Twitch. What else did you say, Nightbot? For extra content, follow on Twitch. We can still do business. Premier League window still open to the 10th. Minor, bro. I hope Saka isn't. Sambi might go with Belgium as well, funny enough. I don't know if they were picking the squad he would go right now, but yeah. I just want Sambi to get games so he can grow. He's one of our best prospects. The transfer window is closed. I have faith in Sambi as well, man, but these are young players, so you sign up for them. They need to take their time. Some are going to develop quicker rather than others, but I want Sambi to, he kind of has to get with it. The reality is for this 38-game period, it's harsh. We need to get with it now, man. I got work tomorrow, so I'm cutting out. Love for the content, DG. And on that note, people, I can't lie. I've been here for an hour and 13 minutes. Appreciative for all of you lots. First and foremost, watching this, if you're like me in the United Kingdom, it's probably just gone past 1, so it's stupid o'clock. Big up you lot if you're on, whatever time zone you're at. Shout to your engagement, your talking points, your general support of the channel. Please make sure you've subscribed and hit the like button if you haven't already. So yeah, man, most importantly, no matter how much football gets us down, reality is if in our lives, if we're waffling about if our football team has signed a player or not, we're doing all right. And especially in this economy with wages going down, living costs going up, and just not a single reason to smile, basically, in global world right now, much less my reality of the UK economy, it is what it is. We need to keep things in perspective. I know football is an escape, but football does mirror society as well. So we just need to keep it moving. You lot stay safe, stay blessed, stay in good health. Hopefully you lot have had a progressive week in your personal and private lives and you're healthy. And I hope the weekend can be solid for us. Obviously, where Man United are concerned, big up the United fans if you are listening, but I hope it's not too good for you lot, man. But transfer window's done. Made a couple of good additions. You hope the other young, Jesus and Zinchenko are lit. You hope Marquinhos and Fabio Vieira can do a thing. Come on, let's slide Saliba in there as a new signing now. Come back on loan in it. Hopefully Matt Turner can do something. We are probably wanting a bit more. We did get some players flushed out. do want to see us do better in terms of selling and the conditions surrounding the exits of certain players. You know, Bellerin, Bellerin, really, you know, it was a Bamian in Jan, but it is what it is in that regards, man. You lot stay safe, stay blessed. A man said I'm gonna knock a baked potato in the air fryer. I hear that. Bit basic, but I hear that, my guy. So yeah, man, you lot stay safe, stay blessed, and regardless what happens this season, I'll be on the journey through the highs and lows with you lot. I'm back again at 11 with Curtis Shaw across Twitch and YouTube. I'll do another Arsenal live stream at some point after that. 4:30 we're playing Football Manager, and on the weekend it's Man United against Arsenal. We'll be doing a watch along for such. There's obviously cut up clips. I ain't gonna lie, this stream is getting cut up tomorrow morning. I ain't doing that now, but I do think I cut up some of the clips that I did on Twitch with Ransom Matisse, so check that out. So yeah, I think tomorrow, obviously if you was on the live stream you would have seen it, but I cut out the clip from when we reviewed August, so I'll release that for you lot. But other than that, you lot stay safe, stay blessed. I'm out. Good night, man.
There's always just that active red flag defending. I think it's like there's always just that active red flag defending. I think it's like
Time.